Welcome to Mrs. Feighery's midterm review video. After showing me your completed questions, numbers 1 through 40 on your midterm review sheet, then you'll use this video to check your answers. Credit will not be given for these questions after I have made the answers available. Question number 1 through question number 5 has to do with the map on your review sheet. Question number 1 asks, in 1682, which group of Europeans claimed the largest part of present-day United States? The answer is that the French claimed the largest part of present-day United States in 1682. Question number 2, by 1673, which group of Europeans claimed most of eastern North America? By 1763, the English claimed most of eastern North America, and the French had basically lost all of their holdings in North America. By 1763, in question number 3, it asks you about which country had lost all of its land holdings in North America, and the answer is the French. Question number 4, in 1682, which group of Europeans claimed the area that is present-day Florida? The Spanish claimed that area during that time period. Question number 5. In 1763, which Europeans claimed the northwest corner of the present-day United States? The northwest corner was claimed by both the English and the Spanish in 1763. Question number 6. Name one problem faced by the mill girls in Massachusetts. The mill girls faced wage cuts, increased workloads, and unhealthy working conditions, but they always had safe places to stay because they lived in the factories in many cases. Question number 7. Which idea is promoted by the concept of nullification? The idea promoted by the concept of nullification is called states' rights. Nullification was the idea that a state could declare a federal law unconstitutional. Question number 8. Which group was forcibly relocated by means of the Trail of Tears? It was the Cherokee that were forcibly relocated on that march. Number 9. Which area did the Monroe Doctrine aim to free from European influence? The Monroe Doctrine aimed to free the Western Hemisphere from European influence. Question number 10. Which invention led to a sharp rise in the number of slaves imported to the southern United States? The cotton gin was the invention that led to the rise in the number of slaves. Question number 11. Which Americans benefited most from the tariff of 1816? Manufacturers in the North benefited most from the tariff. Number 12. Who began the practice of replacing high-ranking members of the executive branch when a new president takes office? Andrew Jackson began that practice. Question number 13. Completed in 1825, the Erie Canal connected the Atlantic Ocean with what? The Atlantic Ocean was connected with the Great Lakes by the Erie Canal. Number 14. Who suggested that the nation's capital be moved from New York City to a new city in the South in order to help gain support for his national debt plan? It was Alexander Hamilton who suggested that the capital be moved to from New York City to the South to gain support for the National Bank. Number 15. Which law created the Supreme Court with a Chief Justice and 5 Associate Justices? The Judiciary Act of 1789 did this. Number 16. Which event was a response to an unpopular excise tax imposed by the federal government? The Whiskey Rebellion was the response to this unpopular excise tax on whiskey that was imposed by the federal government. George Washington himself put down the rebellion. Question number 17. Who secured a treaty with Spain giving the United States shipping rights on the Mississippi River? It was Thomas Pinckney during Washington's administration that gave the United States shipping rights on the Mississippi River by signing Pinckney's Treaty. That was in your Foreign Affairs chart. Number 18. During John Adams' presidency, why were Democratic Republicans outraged by the Alien and Sedition Acts? They were outraged because they felt that it violated the First Amendment right of free speech. Question number 19. What principle was affirmed in the Supreme Court case of Marbury v. Madison? The principle of judicial review was affirmed in the Supreme Court case of Marbury v. Madison. Judicial review is the right of the Supreme Court to declare a law unconstitutional. Question number 20. Who was president when the United States acquired and began to explore the Louisiana Territory? It was Thomas Jefferson who was president during that time period. Question number 21. Why did the United States go to war against Britain in 1812? They went to war against Britain in 1812 because Britain was interfering with U.S. trade by impressing American soldiers and stealing cargo from their ships. Question number 22. Shays' Rebellion was a protest by farmers who faced problems from what? They faced problems from debts that they owed to creditors following the American Revolution. Most people who participated in Shays' Rebellion had fought in the American Revolution. Question number 23. From the time of the Declaration of Independence until the ratification of the Constitution, the United States functioned without what? They functioned without a President of the United States, so there was no executive branch. Question number 24. One of the accomplishments of the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 was to do what? One of the accomplishments was to establish requirements for admitting new states to the Union. When there were 60,000 people in a territory, they could apply to be admitted into the United States as a state. Question number 25. The Great Compromise was an agreement about what? It was an agreement about how to determine a state's representation in Congress. It was a compromise between the Virginia plan, which was the big state plan, and the New Jersey plan, which was the little state plan, which resulted in the Great Compromise, creating the House of Representatives, where representation was based on population, and the Senate, where representation was equal. Number 26. The system that maintains the separation of powers among the branches of the federal government is called what? This system is called the system of checks and balances. Number 27. The number of states needed to ratify the Constitution before it could go into effect was 9. Number 28. Adding a Bill of Rights to the Constitution was largely supported by whom? Adding a Bill of Rights to the Constitution was largely supported by the Anti-Federalists. Question 29. The Articles of Confederation gave the national government the power to do what? It gave them the power to declare war, to make peace, and to sign treaties. However, they could not tax, and they could not regulate trade or collect tariffs. Number 30. Which of the following was responsible for the United States acquiring Florida? The Adams-Onis Treaty was responsible for the United States acquiring Florida in 1819. Question number 31. Who attempted to unite Native Americans into a confederacy to protect their homeland against white intruders? Tecumseh was the one who attempted to unite the Native Americans into the confederacy. Number 32. During which event did the first fighting between redcoats and minutemen occur? The first fighting in the American Revolution occurred at the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Question number 33. Who wrote a pamphlet called Common Sense, arguing that the time had come for American independence? A man named Thomas Paine wrote Common Sense that argued that the time had come for American independence. Number 34. Which European country supported the American colonies during the Revolutionary War? France was the one to support the Americans during the Revolution. Question number 35. Which event confirmed American independence and set the boundaries of the new nation? It was the Treaty of Paris, signed after the American Revolution, which confirmed American independence and set the boundaries for the new nation. Number 36. In which incident did Crispus Attucks play a significant role? Crispus Attucks played a significant role in the Boston Massacre. He was the first to die and is remembered largely for that fact. Question number 37. Which of the following men helped to found the Sons of Liberty? Samuel Adams was the founder of the Sons